The Ghana High Commissioner to the UK and Republic of Ireland, His Excellency Papa Owusu Ankomah, joined Lord Paul Boateng of Achim Wembley, representatives of Ghana traditional chiefs in London, and guests to celebrate Ghana at 60 and UNESCO Decade for People of African Descent 2015 to 2024 at Victoria and Albert Museum in London. The museum, founded in 1852, is the world's largest museum of decorative art and design, housing a permanent collection of over 4.5 million objects. The event, which was themed Ghana, a Nation in Retrospective Festival, was organized by the museum with an aim to look retrospectively at Ghana, a nation that over the last 60 years has shaped a modern vision and established Ghanaians as a trend-setting Afropolitans. The evening's activities helped review and recontextualize Ghana's history, heritage, culture, and future. The well-attended evening celebration started with a spectacular performance by a London-based Ghanaian cultural troupe, Mishe Jeloy, meaning bringers of happiness. The troupe featured dancers and master drummers, weaving narratives, both traditional and modern, that spoke of Ghanaian heritage and history. Welcoming all to the V&A Museum, the director of the museum, Mr. Tristram Hunt, said the museum has a history of being a keen advocate of African history and culture. He said the museum is proud to be hosting Ghana's 60th Independence Anniversary celebration and UNESCO Decade for the People of African Descent. In a short speech, the Ghana High Commissioner, Papa Owusu Ankomah, emphasized the importance of such an event by quoting the Director General of UNESCO, who said, "Africa's cultural and natural heritage is a force for peace. It is also a driver of development and innovation."
Today's event, I must say, is an excellent platform to showcase our cherished and enviable African culture, which binds us as a people.
His Excellency also went further to underscore the importance of Ghana's 60th independence celebration.
For us as Ghanaians, Ghana at 60 is a time to reflect on our past, assess how far we have come as a country, and for the future, to envision the legacy we want to bequeath to the next generation. And when we achieved independence, the name Ghana, we are told, was chosen to symbolize a new beginning with a mental reawakening. As a people, we are taking our destiny into our hands with a constant reminder of our roots and the assurance that we had a history, culture, and civilization that predated colonialism. And it was to guide us on our journey as a newly independent nation. Living up to our trailblazing credentials, Ghana is now globally recognized as an African country that has a stable multi-party constitutional democracy with a vibrant media and a strong and active civil society. But our commitment to strengthening and deepening transparency and accountable democratic governance is total. And we know that in terms of democratic governance, there is still more work to be done, because democracy is always work in progress. Now, Ghanaians yearn to enjoy the dividends of the democratic enterprise in the form of employment for our young people, increased incomes, and improved standards of living.
Touching on Ghana's ambition to enjoy the dividends of this democratic enterprise in the form of employment for our youth, increased income, and improved standards of living, the High Commissioner said,
"It is for this reason that President Akufo-Addo has committed himself to leading Ghana to build a resilient economy that rewards hard work and excellence and supports innovation, which is critical for our national development. The focus, among others, is on adding value to our primary products and move our country beyond aid to trade. It is premised on a strong anti-corruption agenda with a robust enforcement of laws and regulations and with penalties for their non-compliance or breach.
I have to tell you, though, that
in his address, the special guest speaker for the event, Lord Paul Wharton of Achim and Wembley, a former Labour Party politician and former British High Commissioner to South Africa, was grateful to V&A Museum and the event team led by Janet Brown, Program Manager, African Heritage and Culture at the museum, for putting together an excellent event.
Enabling this to happen, and I'm sure it didn't just happen, so let's just give Janet and her team, let's give them a round of applause.
Lord Wharton reminded all that the V&A Museum is filled with rich African cultural artifacts that were forcefully taken from Africa, thereby denuding Africans of their ancestral heritage. Thankfully, according to Lord Wharton, despite the absence of their cultural artifacts, Africans have proud memories of their ancestors and heritage.
There is a truth. Whilst we may not be able to recover what has been stolen, we are able to reclaim the narrative. We are able to say that Africa and Ghana have been the producers of objects of rare beauty and sophistication. You will see some of them here. We are able to say, Nana, Nananum, that you are the descendants and the inheritors of the rights and responsibilities of ancient civilizations. Ghana, Songhai, Mali. There was a university at Timbuktu when Oxford was a muddy field. We should never ever forget what it is that Africa has produced.
Highlighting on Africans' obligation to reclaim the narrative, Lord Paul Wharton said,
"That imposes upon us a particular obligation today, and that is to reclaim that narrative, to rediscover and celebrate those roots, and to say that what Kwame Nkrumah described as the African personality is not just rhetoric, it is reality. It is to be found in music. It is to be found in architecture. It is to be found in fashion. It isn't a coincidence that one of the greatest living British architects is a Ghanaian. It isn't an accident. Yes, let's give Sir David a round of applause. It isn't an accident that the newly appointed editor of Vogue is a Ghanaian. Let's give him a round of applause. It isn't an accident. It isn't an accident that Ghana and sons of Ghana, sons and daughters of Africa, are to be found on all sides and in every house in the Palace of Westminster. It isn't an accident. And it owes something to that unique contribution that Ghana has made in Africa and in the world. And it's a contribution that is rooted in Ghana's sense of self and identity.
Following Lord Paul Wharton's speech, Archbishop Frimpong Manso BEM, a member of the Ghana Christian Council UK, shared a closing prayer. the opening ceremony, the guests and all gathered were ushered into a festival which featured a rich array of learning activities, music, performances, and artisans. Some of the people and works that featured at the festival included Angus Patterson, Senior Curator of Metalwork, whose presentation on Ashanti gold weights and regalia from the Wolseley invasion of Kumasi in 1874. Christopher Lutrod Kwaku, designer, director, and writer, who staged Undoing Africa, a critical simulation developed in response to Kwame Nkrumah's 1963 call, "We Must Unite Now or Perish." Peter Ashen, gallery educator who explored the 18th century man about town, William Ansa Seseraku, sold into enslavement in Barbados. James Barno and Ed Autry, photographers who presented a special Ever Young pop-up photo salon and recorded oral history. Natalie Fiau, Black Cultural Archives Project Coordinator, Chef Zoe Ajonia, founder of Ghana Kitchen, who shared how she rediscovered her heritage through her grandmother's recipes.
Papa, all the